Welcome back, everyone. It's Ready or Not.
Football edition. I'm Nate the Great.
I'm Chris Stacks. We had a sick Week 10. We're going to do a quick recap, and you might see some extras walking in the background today. They're highly paid, but they're doing a great job, so hopefully you see Mida or Callie walking in the background. But Nate, it was a good week.
Good week. Exciting week.
Exciting week. Some crazy things happened.
Oh, yeah. Well, first off, let me talk about our NFL picks that we went over last Thursday. We did terrible. Out of how many games are there in a week?
It fluctuates, but there's usually about 14, 13.
Yeah, we picked 3 correct ones. Because remember, we actually all did the same picks.
Oh, yeah, we
all
did.
last week.
Yeah.
Now, Keno, with that one, remember, Vikings-Bills, we did not pick a winner for that one. That was tentative.
Yeah.
We weren't sure about Josh Allen.
Yep.
Which Vikings ended up winning, which who would have seen that coming?
No.
And then you also have something that you told me to take note of. I don't know if you remember, Eagles-Commanders game.
Yes.
You said it was going to be under 44. It was not. You said it was going to be Eagles by 6.
I did.
So
that was a wild
that
game.
one, huh?
That was a wild game.
That was a wild game. Did not expect that McLaurin went off that game.
Yeah, McLaurin went off. The running backs went off.
Mm-hmm.
I noted that down. Washington 32, Philadelphia 21. But they ran for, I think they ran for like 160 yards on the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody does that.
I mean, who have the Eagles faced that had like a real
very
run
true.
game?
Very true. Very true. But you also just said that the guy, I can't remember his name, is a real run game. The running back for the Commanders.
Oh, yeah, well, okay, fair enough. But he could be an up and comer.
Yeah, it could be an upcomer. He was drafted high, so we'll see. Obviously, the Dallas game, I'm still upset. Please pour one out for the Cowboys and get rid of Dak.
Get rid of Dak?
I've said that since I brought him on.
You just actually mentioned that before.
I
You
don't
want
like
to
Dak.
stick with Cooper Rush?
I'm more than happy with Cooper Rush. Spend the money. Spend the money on an offensive line.
I mean, speaking of quarterbacks, what's your thoughts on Tua now?
I still think Tua's not good, but they literally put him in the perfect system. So we talk about this all the time in business. If you have the right system and you put the people in the system that make the system work, it's great.
But you still need to have someone that knows that can work the system.
Right. But a lot of slants, a lot of really fast wide receivers and 2 fast running backs. It's a perfect system for Tua.
Oh, speaking of
Perfect
running backs,
system.
well, Mostert did well.
Yeah.
But Jeff Wilson.
Wilson's been with McDermott before.
Yeah.
So him, that could be a pickup of the year going into the playoffs.
Which, unfortunately for us, my brother got.
Yeah, I know. He beat me out for it. I had 2 other games, really. Tampa Bay beating Seattle.
By the way, I made a mistake last time. It was London. It was in Germany.
Yeah, Munich.
Munich.
Yep. Godwin is starting to look like Godwin again, recovering from that injury.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Brady didn't look great, but didn't look bad.
Yeah, they're saying Brady's like kind of coming back to where he was.
Yep.
I know he had a lot of personal stuff he was dealing with, so let's see if he's getting back into it.
The Pittsburgh defense is very good with TJ Watt. Him being out was a huge deal. Him being back was a huge deal. And then obviously Indianapolis Colts beating Las Vegas with a new coach and deciding to put Matt Ryan back in at quarterback.
Yeah, I remember they're debating on that, and Matt Ryan ended up being one of the top 5 running backs. Quarterbacks.
Right.
For the week.
Wild week. On Thursday, we'll talk about who is off, who is on bye this week.
Yeah.
So getting into quickly injuries. There's a lot of injuries this week.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. PJ Walker, poor guy. He's out for potentially weeks, not just a week, but weeks with
And just when he's like coming up.
Yeah, he's getting going, getting rid of it. And now we're going to get to see Baker Mayfield again. Leonard Fournette with a hip stinger, or a hip pointer, they call it.
Which, let's stop on Leonard Fournette for a sec. That was our bet last week. And even even after injury, still did it.
You're right.
Above his bet.
You're right. You're right.
Imagine if he stayed healthy. It would have been closer to my projection potentially.
Hey, it's every blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Khalil Herbert with a hip stinger as well. He could be out for a couple of weeks, which could be a massive upgrade to David Montgomery, because if you combine what they did, because obviously you got the number 1 running back on the team is Fields. Mm-hmm. But then number 2, right now it's 2A and 2B, so they're splitting the time. But if Khalil's out, that could be a massive upgrade to Montgomery.
But Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp out with the ankle injury, going into surgery this Wednesday,
This morning.
tomorrow.
I thought it was today.
I know, I said Wednesday.
Oh, okay. I thought it was today. Yeah, that's huge.
So, yeah,
IR,
that's huge.
done.
At least 4 weeks out.
I believe that's Justine's team, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's a massive loss. Obviously, there's other people on that team,
Mhm.
but I don't even know who you would go to, who you're going to look at, because nobody's going to replace Cooper.
Yeah.
That's whew. Juju with a concussion.
Oh, I did not see that one.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, yeah. That could be an upgrade to Mecole Hardman. That could be an upgrade to Kelsey. They're going to be leaning on. And then Kadarius Toney being there now, that could be his spot to shine. He
True.
could take over that number one spot.
Yeah, Judy on my team who went out early in the game. Almost kind of pushing pressure on the rest of my team
Yeah,
for
which
that.
I actually used him in DFS this week. That was a dumb pick.
And then Ertz out for the season.
Season. And that guy's he's no spring chicken, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, he's
This could be one of those.
Which I remember when I picked him up, my brother was like, "You're welcome. Thank you, Will, for giving me Ertz, who's now out for the season."
Yeah. And then another tight end, Gerald Everett, with a groin injury, so he
Well,
could play.
I think I saw Goddard got hurt as well, didn't he?
Oh, I didn't see that in the notes. When I went through the injury report, I didn't see that. Did he?
I didn't write it down here, but I saw it.
Who's got Goddard?
Prue, because it was in my game.
So while he's looking that up, let me start looking at some of the legends and the weakest of the week, because we had some big games this week. We had some people that put the points up. Oh,
Yep, went down last night with the shoulder injury. Will miss extended time. So when he lost the fumble.
oh, okay.
Not expected to be season ending.
Okay, not season ending, so that's good, but that's still a big deal. Dang, I did not see that one, so that's my bad, guys.
You're gonna have to go with that. Yep.
There we go. All right. So legends and weakest of the week. This was an interesting week as far as who showed out, who did not. We'll start with the legends of the weakest.
Let's go weakest.
Weakest. Let's start from wide receivers. Number 6, he was an honorable mention, but because he's a big name, he's been tearing it up, and I had him everywhere for DFS. Jalen Waddle, 8.6. He was an honorable mention. He was number 6, but I was like, there's no way I'm not putting you on, because I expected 15, 20, and
Well, I mean, so obviously my Dolphins ended up winning, but they did a better job of spreading the ball,
Distribution.
which is I know what you hate for fantasy,
oh, it's terrible for fantasy.
but it's great for the team.
Oh, it's great for the team because it's harder to cover.
Yeah, exactly.
But when you got the number 1 and number 2 not scoring what you're expecting in fantasy,
100 because Hill's not even.
right?
On the top
Mike
right.
Evans, 7.9. Pittman, 7.8.
Yep.
Mooney, 7.7. Lazard, Alan Lazard, 6.0.
Had a huge game last week.
Right. And then Joshua Palmer, 5.9. I played him, and I got very lucky that he didn't do worse, but luckily I had enough people that went off for it to balance out for me.
Yep. Then we got running backs weeks of the week. We got Najee Harris, who
Who the King's Jesters just picked
King's
back up,
Jesters
right?
picked back up. Might be changing his name back to Najee's in Paris. Then he got 8.7. Then you have
Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne. I don't know if that's an 8.3. 8.8. So you got Derrick Henry. Who's
Who expected this?
yeah. I forgot who we went against. They went against the
Derrick Henry went against.
that was first game. I think it was the Thursday game. No.
No.
Titans. Denver.
Denver, yeah.
So
Who
went
has a
against-
great run defense.
They do have a great run defense, and they showed it, stopping Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
and
that's
not many
impressive.
teams can do that.
That's impressive.
Then you got Swift, who's me again. I still don't know Swift and
He's
Williams.
injured. He's got to be still injured, so they're just kind of easing
Yeah,
it back
because
in.
they took him out towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
When he had more points than Williams, then Williams got the touchdown at the end. I'm like, oh man, now I should have put Williams in. But A.J. Dillon, who's had a good game last week,
Yep.
been doing pretty well, but not this week, just kind of slowed down.
Yeah. And then I went, and for the quarterbacks, obviously there's more quarterbacks, but I went with the ones that we actually played.
Right.
So you had Goff with 13.8. You had McCoy. I don't think anybody played him, but he was the starting quarterback for the Cardinals. I didn't know he was still in the league. Not gonna lie to you.
That game was two backup quarterbacks playing.
Right. It was very interesting. 12.9. Wilson, this was the get right game. This was coming off a bye. This was, you got time, not the best defense, 12.2. Herbert, 12 flat.
Whoa, hold on. You didn't mention Herbert either. Herbert got hurt.
He was not on the list either.
Yeah, no, he was also on Prue's team. Side note. He went out with a potential concussion. Well, he's not on the injury report. You're right.
Yeah.
But they did take him out.
I think it ended up not being marked as a concussion.
Okay. But they took him out for the rest of the game, I believe. We'll have to look into that later.
Okay, we'll do some homework on that. And then Dalton with 7.1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're doing in New Orleans, but not playing football. Especially with the team they got, the All-Stars they have. And then popping over to the legends, we're going to start with one we don't usually talk about, the kickers. Joey
I
Slides.
actually did not write the kickers down, so let's go.
Joey Slides, the only one I put down, scored 19 points, and he was on nobody's team.
Wow. Well, I don't even know who that is.
Actually, Slides been in the league for a long time. He's the Commanders kicker.
Okay.
And he's always been phenomenal when he's got a team. So 19 points, that's a hell of a week.
Yeah.
For tight ends, obviously number 2 was the same number 2 that it always is. It's Kelsey.
Yep.
But number 1,
It's yours, which I actually wrote down over here as pick up of the week, Cole Kmet, which you did after waivers.
Yep.
No one picked him up on waivers. You picked him up off the just free agency.
yep.
And he did almost quadruple his projection.
Yep.
Insane.
It was nice to have him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something I've been waiting for. 'cause
I
I've
wish
been
I got
saying-
him instead of Ertz.
He's so athletic, so talented. I've been saying for weeks now that they need to use him. They used him.
They used him.
Keep doing it.
Yeah, yeah, will they keep doing
Let's
it? That's
keep
the
doing
question.
it. Do you have the wide receivers?
I do. So wide receivers, number 5. So wide receivers is interesting this week.
Oh, it is.
Well, number 5, first off, Westbrook Ekine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly,
No idea for a change.
but 27.4 points.
Playing for Tennessee, and that's the reason. That's part of the reason that Derrick Henry didn't have his normal, because this guy just went to work.
Yeah, I mean, when you have someone with a hot hand, you got to keep giving him the ball.
Yep.
So then you got Christian Kirk with 28 points. Christian
Yeah,
Kirk, that's
yeah.
still above, but obviously we know he's going to do work.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson, the Vikings win over
That
the Bills. That insane catch, one-handed, out of the two hands of the defender,
Yeah.
and keeping it off the floor.
Yes.
That was the biggest
That
part.
was
That was a
phenomenal.
phenomenal catch. Watson,
I don't like this guy.
why don't you like this guy?
Because he scored 3 touchdowns on the Cowboys this week.
Fair enough.
He's done that all season.
Yeah, Watson, not one you would expect
Right.
but in the top 5 lineup.
I think
but-
Rodgers finally found his wide receiver.
Yeah, and also no one's team.
Right.
No one expected Watson to do so. Yeah,
He's been hurt all season. He's been in and out of the injury report.
That's true. So we'll see. We'll see if there's a fight for him on the waiver wire this week.
Yep.
That's what we'll find out what the order is. CeeDee Lamb, yours, still put up 33.5 points in a loss.
He was doing work.
But not enough work apparently.
Hey, 33.5. I'll accept it, especially
Yeah.
in fantasy. But we need Dak to stop throwing to the wrong. I thought green and silver were pretty odd, obvious differences, but I guess not because he threw 2 picks.
Which game? I don't remember which game it was. Quarterback threw it straight to the defender. It wasn't the Cowboys.
Josh Allen.
Yes, it was Josh Allen. I'm like, what was that?
Wasn't even like close. He literally threw it straight to the
Yeah,
other team.
no, I know. It's like, what are you doing?
And he threw it to a really good cornerback, and I can't think who it was right now, but it wasn't like it was even somebody hiding. Like, this dude was just standing there, and he threw him the ball.
It's like he was like, hey, I'm open.
Yeah,
He was like,
literally.
you got it. Oh, that was crazy.
Like when you're in middle school, and the other team goes like this to the kid that doesn't know how to play, and they just throw him the ball. That's
Okay.
what it looked like.
Yeah, no, straight up. That's why I was like, what just happened? Which I'm glad for, because I'm sure
Yeah,
you're
'cause that
aware.
was it.
Top of the AFC East now.
That was a game changer for you guys. You notice everybody on the left side. Okay.
Yeah, no, I saw that earlier. Then we got running backs.
James Conner.
I put him in honorable mention as
I
well.
did too. I had to. I was like,
I
hold
had
on, this
to.
guy just came back from injury. 22.1 points. He came balled out.
Yep.
Jeff Wilson for the Dolphins.
Newest addition to the Dolphins.
And
Or one of the newest
he's
additions.
played in McDermott's systems before. He's great. That is the system that he thrives in, and that's why when he left and it's Kyle Shanahan out in the Niners, he hasn't been playing as well. because it's not the same system. You put him in that system, he's good.
And it shows.
Yeah.
Jones.
I almost said Julio Jones.
No,
but it's not.
Aaron Jones.
Thank you, Aaron Jones.
Who ended up getting out hurt. I don't know if you wrote that one either.
I did not.
He was not on the game. It was after the game, they said he might be hurt still with whatever's happening. But before that, 22.6 points, which I remember we're watching the game and you're like, it looks like he was never hurt before.
Right. So I think this is one of those things where it's going to be a pain tolerance because that dude looked like he was in no pain.
Yep.
I don't know if it was a shot, if it was a cream, if it was something else that Rodgers brought to the game. He looked like he was in no pain.
Michael's special, was it?
Michael's secret sauce?
No.
Or,
Is it secret drink? Oh, what was the word for it?
secret stuff.
Secret stuff, yes.
Michael's secret stuff. That's what it was.
Then you got Dalvin Cook, which by the way, Jones and Cook, both on my team, did work for me.
Yep. I had Jones in my other league, and I had Jones in a bunch of DFS.
But Cook put up 23.1 points.
Barkley, 23.5, who I also had in DFS this week.
Mm-hmm.
Made some good money in DFS. But
Nice.
Barkley, that boy just, he's scary. You give him the rock and just move.
Mhm.
And then coming back from the dead,
Yeah.
Jonathan
Where
Taylor.
has he been?
Like, damn, Steiger, if him and CMC decide to actually ball out moving forward.
So I think CMC is still not quite there, and JTT put up points, and like he did not do bad. Steiger, he was like
Right,
fourth highest score.
Yeah, I was looking at that, 134.
No, he just behind Chim
Oh,
Chim. So fifth highest score.
But that's especially from what he was projected, like that's a nice little jump. And he even had players that didn't play well. So, I mean, Goff didn't play well. Brady played okay. McCaffrey was just okay. Deebo Samuel was terrible. Cooper was terrible. Young Ho Koo did nothing.
Yeah,
The Colts defense did nothing. I definitely would have had Singletary in the game, not going to lie. I think I said that at the beginning of the week. But, I mean, we had 5 games or 5 people that all had good scores this week. That's a big deal. Yeah, we did have a couple stragglers, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Well, let's go into quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks. This is
Matt Ryan. We mentioned Matt Ryan earlier. Top number 5, putting in for the Colts.
making Saturday look great. Their new head coach.
Oh, I didn't know his name.
Yeah, nobody does. Jeff Saturday. He's a former offensive lineman.
Okay, well, hey, they got the win. Put Ryan in.
From the Colts, actually.
Okay,
He was an all-star.
So then we got Jalen Hurts. That's your QB. Put up 22.8 points. So a solid game for him.
Oh, yeah.
In a loss, but solid game nonetheless.
Yep.
Tua, also yours and mine in real life. But like I said, I'm liking Tua. I think he's doing well. The system works. System works.
Mahomes, 31.1.
Yeah.
Tebow, maybe I should have taken that trade because Mahomes is definitely coming back to life. And I think with Kadarius Toney, watching how they started to connect, that could be his new go-to. That could be his new Tyreek. And that could be a very dangerous combination going into the end of the season.
And we got Justin Fields. Very glad for this pickup.
So upset.
So happy. Been killing it since on my team. He just needed a new home.
If it was Fab, he'd be on my team because I would have dropped every dollar I had.
Well, it's not. I got him. He put up 40.4 points.
Next year, I'm already petitioning. We're going to Fab.
I mean, I haven't done Fab, so I'm curious. I'd be curious to test it out.
It takes a little bit more up here because you got to think about who do I really want to spend on versus just picking. But it also allows it where, let's say, Steiger at this point is kind of on that verge of not being able to get back into the playoffs. But it doesn't just mean that he gets all the best players to more or less take them away from the top teams. So now the top teams have the choice of, do I want to spend this money right now and make my team better, or is it not worth me spending up because of how good I am, which will then allow everybody, whoever wants to overspend can, but it also still allows the bottom teams to pick up as well. So it doesn't just mean, oh, you're sucking, you get the best player.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually calculation to it.
Right. Okay.
Now looking at the week, this was an interesting week in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody's got to figure out how to play better defense on your brother because this 186 junk is starting to drive me nuts.
Only against me. Apparently it's the Rodriguez trait because my defense is finally picking up.
Very true, very true. So highest score of the week when we're looking at the Week 10 report, Will Rodriguez, Best team, Team 3 TEs, 186.24. It's a nice week.
Nice week.
Now, worst team, you just happen to be against them. This is the Rodriguez defense from
he
what I
happened to
heard.
be against me.
Oh, 93.92 points. Not the best week for him. You know, he got rid of Najee.
No,
Did
brought
better.
him back though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Got rid of him, did better. Picked him back up, now he's in the toilet bowl.
You think Najee's the key?
Maybe it is.
Maybe Najee's the lock.
Yeah, yeah. Best players of the week, you've already talked about him. He's on your team. You got lucky. Who was it?
Didn't get lucky. Justin Fields. Right time, right place.
40.38 versus Detroit. Jonathan Taylor for Steiger, 24.3.
CeeDee Lamb with 33.5 on your team. Got Cole Kmet also on your team for the tight ends.
Hey, I'll take it.
21.4 against the Lions.
Against the Lions. I think it's Taylor Bass, if I remember right, for Christina with 13 points.
Solid from a kicker.
Oh, that's solid.
It's not the 19
It's not
points
19,
though.
but I'll take 13 for my kicker all
The
day.
Titans defense on my brother's team also 13 points. Which I was looking at the defenses. Top 5 defenses. This was number 3, and the other 4 no one had.
Wow.
And then I had the number 6 one with 10 points. The Giants.
Which didn't we say that last week as well?
No one's picking out the top defenses. No,
Yeah.
because it's a surprise every week.
Yeah.
What team's going to go off?
Right. Like I played the Cowboys this week thinking, oh, I'm good to go. The Packers have been terrible. They got me 9 points.
Yeah, 8 points.
I think it was 9.
I think it was 8 points because remember it was just under half of the team you're against.
Oh,
7
no,
points.
that's the projection. I think.
No, that's what they actually.
Oh, 7. Okay. I thought I said 9 before. Okay, 7 points. 7 points isn't terrible though. Not obviously what I was expecting, but I was expecting 23, 20.
Yeah, not even close.
Not 7.
Still won.
Yeah,
you gotta be happy about that.
I was set. But bench warmers of the week. I mean, looking at Will's team, I can understand 100% why he wouldn't
Well,
play this guy.
his 2 QBs did better than Rodgers.
Right.
So, and we know how Rodgers been playing in general.
That's what I'm
anyway.
saying. So Rodgers with 18.36 versus Dallas.
Now this one did confuse me.
I would have played him.
I would have played him. He did well last week. His first week off injury.
Yep.
I would have played him this week.
And with a backup quarterback, I would have played him even more.
Backup quarterback against the backup quarterback team that's already hurting.
Yep. So you're going to try and run the ball. You're going to try and slow down the clock. I would have played him this week.
So 22 points on the bench.
Terry McLaurin. I am not going to lie. I wasn't expecting almost 18 points against Philadelphia with Taylor Heineke as your quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just happens. Tyler Higbee
I could have used them, but
for Justine 11.3 versus Arizona. It's tight ends. Tight ends are a challenge. You never know really what's going to happen with them.
you know, you only have a few that are
Consistent. Yep. And then league awards. Most efficient manager, Christina. She did 99% of her
Just
project.
1.12
possible.
difference.
Crazy. Prue with least efficient, 93.92 with with max points of 120. He left 1/4 of his points on the table. It's quite a bit.
A lot of them were just.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
We got highest points in a loss. Steiger, which I mentioned earlier,
Yep.
he did well.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he was against Will, who just consistently does.
Yeah, Steiger, the team's going in the right direction. It's just a small tweak here and there.
But 134 versus the 186. Then you got lowest points in a win. Not me this time. Did win. We got Christina 135 against
Over
Tebow's 111.
That was a
Replacements
surprising
did
score.
not.
Yeah, they
do it
need to
this
get
week.
replaced again. Nat Rod with the biggest blowout, 148.82 over Andrew Prue, 93.92. Narrow victory, Christina, 135.48 over 111. That's a pretty decent win for being a narrow victory.
That means most of our games were
24
just.
points?
Yeah, most of the games were just wide.
Yeah.
Then we got overachiever Will with 186 over his projected 150. team just consistently doing over his projections.
Yeah, 36.
And you got underachiever Prue, who got 93.92 but projected 143.52.
Yeah.
I went into this week as the underdog.
Oh yeah, I remember.
But I was still confident in my team.
50-point swing right there.
Yeah.
That's a massive swing. And you look at the percentages for the week. Will, 96% again. He would have maxed out at 193.
Mm-hmm.
Myself, I had 159.5, and I only did 85% this week. That's actually low for me. I think that's my first time under 90%. But
Which I did myself. I did just under your percentage as well,
Yeah.
85.6 at my 148.82.
yep, champ, 99.2. Like I said, that's impressive.
Yeah.
She's been up there quite a bit lately. Now she's just got to get her guys to actually perform a little better.
Nah, I think she starts slowing down. I'm on my rise. I'm
You're on your rise?
So you got Steiger with his 93.4%.
Yep.
With his 134.46 points.
Belichick yourself, 114 out of 129, so 88%. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad.
We got the replacements, 111 with his 86.7. So it could use. I mean, his max is 128. I don't
Yeah.
even know if he would have won with that because he was champ, right?
Yeah. No, he wouldn't have.
Yeah, he wouldn't have won even with his max points.
And then the King's Jesters. Should we call it like the Jesters Najis? The Najis Jesters.
I don't even know.
The Najis Jesters.
The Najee Jesters.
77.9%. Score 93. It's a low week. It's a low week.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the standings, things are getting mixed up again. They're getting shaken up. Shake it up. Shake it up.
We're going to start from the bottom or from the top?
Oh, let's start from the bottom.
Start from the bottom. All right, you have bring up the rear right now. Still is Team Steiger with 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, he's only 16 points behind you.
I'm well aware. I was looking up because I actually caught up to. I'm got the same record now as Belichick yourself. My points are not there.
No.
Now my points allowed are the lowest in the league, but my points for are only 5 above my points allowed. Yeah, I saw that earlier. I'm like, what is that?
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Damn. Okay. So Nate right now is sitting at 4-6. Like I said, 16 points above Steiger, but tied.
3 wins in a row.
3 wins in a row. Tied with Belichick yourself.
At number 6.
4-6. So she's got you beat though because she's beating you right now.
So she beat me in points, and there's no way to get to my points. I have to go pure
126
record in order to make it
Yep.
to playoffs.
Yep.
Because there's no way I'm catching unless I'm putting up 180
Every week.
Every week, I'm not catching up in points. I need to go for the record.
By the way, a quick side note that I almost forgot. This is the last week for trades. So if you're
Okay.
trying to commit a trade, it's this week. If it's not done, you can't trade after this week.
Now, when's the cutoff?
Thursday.
Before the Thursday night game.
Yep.
Okay.
The replacements sitting at 5th. Tebow with 5-5.
You got Champ sitting in 4th, moved up a slot, 5-5 as well.
So they're both at 5-5. Champ's beating him by a little over 50 points currently, and she's got 1 win recently. He's got 1 loss.
Yep. Then you got King's Jesters, who you're welcome for dropping him at a second.
I do appreciate it.
6-4, because you have the same record as Diggs in the CD, also 6-4, but about 80 points ahead.
Yep.
So, and that 93 points is not helping King's Jesters keep up that
Not at all.
points.
Not at all. And then in the lead, the Team 3 TEs, the gentleman who we have talked about pretty much every week except for one. And even that week we talked about him because he did terrible.
Yeah,
But-
and plus was against me.
Oh, yeah, true. We found the cheat code, bring 3 tight ends, have a mindset of defense in fantasy football, which I don't know if a lot of people show up with. But Will's leading the way, 8-2 record, 2 wins in a row.
You know what I just thought of? So you know how I told you I got the Rodriguez skill of having the defense for the team? I have 3 tight ends the last 2 weeks. 2 on IR and 1 actually playing.
I'm not even commenting. Not even commenting. But later this week on Thursday, we will go into who's where, who's projected for what, the waiver wire pickups of the week. So make sure, and I don't want to hear any complaints, I don't want to hear excuses. Get your waiver wire claims in. Steiger, get your waiver wire claims in. There's definitely some people on the free agency docket this week, some people you can pick up. There's quite a few injuries, so you want to make sure your team's good to go.
And don't worry, Will's team, number 8 in the waiver pick.
Oh, that is a good point. Oh, damn.
So you can get ahead of him.
I'm back to number 7.
You're back to number 7.
Just so happens that Steiger's number 1, Champ is number 2,
I'm number 3.
NTG is number 3, Belichick yourself is number 4, Replacements is 5, and the King's Jesters, that one hurts. King's Jesters is 6.
Which means he picked up waiver picks during, I think, yeah, we had a lot of people pick up people Friday and Saturday, which if they were dropped by someone else, that counts as a waiver pick. If they picked them before the waiver was up.
Oh yeah, true.
Which is why I picked someone up that was on waiver, but I didn't put it in until after they were released.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't affect my pick, that's why I'm still 3rd. So
Okay.
before FAB, that's what you gotta look out for.
Yep. All right. Ladies and gents, that is it for Ready or Not this week. This episode. We will see you on Thursday. Best of luck.
Pick those waiver picks.